All right. We're going to talk about 7 no BS steps to growing your real estate business in 2025. And so I like I like this presentation. I really do, kind of creating and going through it. I think that what you're going to see as we're going through, we're going to talk about an action. We're going to talk about what it looks like. I'm going to give some examples, and then I'm even going to point you to, like, if you want to see someone doing this in real life, or where it's being mentioned, or where you can go get the information for it, where you can actually go take it and R&D it. So the first one is really just be seen, right? Like, as we're going through, and we know that this is an influence based business, and it's very interesting as we're going through, because when we're just talking about real estate in general, I think that a lot of agents are looking to become this influencer status, and I think that hunts, right? And so success in real estate doesn't come from being the best kept secret, and that's very, very important, right? Like, as we're talking about this, and as we're thinking about just becoming that real estate economist of choice, we know, and we talk about in this market center all the time, that if it really came down to just having the most years in the business, there'd be no business for any of us, at least on this call, right? Because there are agents that have been in this business for 30 plus years. So what we know is it is being in emotional proximity, it's in being top of mind. So we have to strategically position ourselves as the go-to agent. And what we have to do is we really have to showcase, like, who we are. So it has to be authentic. Like, as we're going through and we're just building this and we're creating something, some kind of brand, it should be a brand that we can turn on and off, that pretty much lives on at all times, right? To where we're not going through and we're saying, oh, I have to be somebody, right? To where we're putting ourselves up. So that's where it gets a little bit harder, right? As we're talking about this and as we're looking at it, when we're going through, and especially social media, right? If you're not a social media person, jumping into social media is probably not going to be super helpful if, like, that's not what you're looking for. So a couple ways to be seen: sponsoring events, volunteering, and networking. Like, volunteering, networking, just being out in places. And I'm going to say this, and I find this one very interesting, like, even church, right? We have so many agents, just even in our brokerage, that while they don't go to church for the reason to go get business, you would be, I think, surprised with how many times I'm talking to an agent. I'm saying, well, where'd that client come from? They're like, Bible study. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, business just happens from being around people. Um, Direct mail campaigns, right? Like, what can we do to be sending out information direct? And again, when we go back to the social media piece, which is, that third bullet point that we're going to look at, like, how can we direct them to our ongoing commercial? Like, as we're looking at this thing, we do social media, and can we create a QR barcode, put the QR barcode down there that's going to link actually back to our Instagram account, to where we are that real estate economist of choice? Or is it to our YouTube, right? And the big thing is it's video content. Welcome to 2025. Video content is what actually needs to be created. It's not the stills. And you know what? It's kind of funny. And I think there are a lot of accounts out there where someone goes and they take the photo of themselves and they overlay it with an inspirational message. And, like, I guess that could work. But at the end of the day, like, what can we do to create video of a quick walkthrough of a house? Like, hey guys, come check out what $500,000 gets you in Westminster. Do a quick walkthrough video, right? Put that on your YouTube account, make a reel out of it, throw it on Instagram, throw it on TikTok if you have a TikTok account, or else you got to pay tens of thousands of dollars, I guess, right now to go buy the phones that actually have them installed. Pick the method that fits your strengths and your personality. Again, like, it is very hard if you're like, I'm not going to do social media, I don't want to go do this. Like, you're not going to be able to adapt to it, and it will get a little bit harder. So figure out what you want to do and just do it. So let's talk about this hyper local social media presence. And so when we're looking at this thing, it's like, don't just post the generic stuff, right? Like, yes, we give you filler at the brokerage, right? We're giving you stuff to where you can just, like, if you're not going to do anything, might as well be something. So here it is. Yet, if we know we're going to be super purposeful about it, we should be creating engaging content. talk to the camera a little bit, right? Like go through, say, this is what's going on and be community focused, guys. Here's the thing. We're going to do an Instagram class in a couple of weeks from now. And I'm going to just highlight one of those things for you is that, Instagram right now is actually being tracked on Google to where if you were to actually be very, very purposeful with your Instagram content and actually like type stuff out, Google's actually searching Instagram and your Instagram content will pop up. So, with that being said, if we're putting information on Instagram and we're talking about the restaurant that we went to, and we're name dropping the restaurant, we're putting in some information, we're putting in some hashtags. If we rank a little bit on that, Google's actually going to pull up if someone's maybe looking for, the Mexican restaurant in Westminster that just opened up, and they actually might find us. And so if someone trips over it, they're looking at our content, they realize we're a real estate agent, like this is the secret sauce, like this is where the magic happens. So we got Jeremy Knight with the Night Group out in Austin, and he's just posting weekly YouTube videos, right? Of like what it looks like about living in Austin. And this is all he's doing. And it's interesting, right? Like we talk about like, oh, where should I be getting leads from? Like, can I go buy them from Zillow or realtor.com or sold.com or homes.com or insert whatever here.com? And like the biggest thing is we all know that we consume content. Every one of us in some kind of capacity consumes content. Where do you go to consume your content? And can we go through and look at Jeremy Knight, see what he's doing out in Austin, and can we create a little bit of this magic? Geographical farming, right? Like, even if we were to look, we pick the neighborhood and let's be the most recognizable name out there. Think about what we have even going in our own office, but let's look at Kyle, right? Out of San Diego. What they're doing is free community movie nights. What does it look like to go through and just be the host of this thing? You're door knocking, you're getting face to face with the people in the neighborhood, you're building the relationships. And it's hey guys, it's the second Friday of the month. That means I'm going to bring in one or two different food trucks, take the night off of cooking. You're not paying for it, right? You're not going to pay for the food, but you're going to create the community event out of this thing, right? When we talk about like even Debbie inside of our market center, drinks in the driveway, we're going through and maybe we're providing some kind of entertainment. Come to my house, maybe we'll go to your house next time, but we're going through, we're doing these different things. You can actually download the play that Kyle's running, geographical farming done right. So if you Google geographical or geographic farming done right from Tom Ferry, you can actually get the play that Kyle's running. And YouTube. Here's the thing, guys. YouTube is super powerful. When we're thinking about YouTube and we're thinking about short-term and long-term content, the short form content is really just a reel. You can go up, you can go 30, 60 seconds, you can go 90 seconds, and it's vertical video, right? So it's just like you're doing a reel, you're putting it out here. But here's the cool thing. Instagram, yes, Instagram is being migrated over to Google. Yet, I think the biggest thing that we need to think about is Google is the number one search engine in the world, hard stop. Number two is actually YouTube. And so what happens is Google's going to be doing some ranking stuff. YouTube is owned by Google. And so if you're doing some of the short form and long form content and you're hitting keywords in the area, maybe it is just what's the latest restaurant. Maybe it is this is the new house in the area. And Google's going to reward you. Google wants hyper local information. And if you're feeding Google the hyper local information, it is going to put your content in front of people when people are looking for it over the 20,000 foot view stuff. So Graham Stephan, I actually like Graham Stephan. He's no longer a real estate agent, I don't think, but it's very interesting what he used to do. He's kind of changed his platform a lot. But he was actually out in Vegas, and I think he was in California as well. And when you go through, he's really just like, how do you buy a house? And he was 20, right? Like he's going through and he has a huge YouTube channel right now. Like I like Graham Stephan. So go through and that's all they're doing. They're creating so many revenues of businesses coming in because people Google stuff to search things. And if you're the answer and you're the face, and people are going to get into a relationship with you from there. The relatable stories is big as well, right? I know I was poking fun in the beginning about people posting like a photo of themselves and then throwing an inspirational quote over it. And it's like, make it about your people. If you are going to make it about yourself, so let's just say this. Let's say you're going through and you're like, here, Charles, like, I don't have any stories about clients because I'm too new. I don't have any stories about how I help people win. Even though I would say that you do have people that you're showing houses to, right? Like, and how do we artificially create that? What would it look like to reach out to some of our buddies and say, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to go look at some houses this week, and I know that you might not be in the market, but would you like to actually tag along with me? And then you actually get to tell a story about how, like, you and your client, because they're clients at this point, and you went and you actually were looking at this area, and this is what you or they found surprising. And you're taking some photos of the area, maybe you're doing a quick video of it, and you're just artificially creating these stories. Like, you're being purposeful about it. They're not lies. You actually brought them through and you actually did the activities. Or what would it look like for you to say, if you're something like me, you might have had questions about this when you were starting to look at houses, and answer the questions, right? We got to make it relatable. You might be a little bit like me if, right? And so we're going through, and it's not about us anymore. Like, we're talking about situations, we're talking about fears, we're talking about goals. Hey, I've been talking to a lot of my clients recently, and everyone has these misconceptions about interest rates right now, right? We get to talk about concessions. Maybe it's misconceptions about the NAR settlement and why we're putting it out there. Maybe a lot of buyers feel like they can't afford a home anymore. And we're talking about how this is one of the best markets for actually negotiating that we've seen in a very, very long time, with concessions and compensation and everything going forward. And we're putting these videos out there, and we're not aiming it at us, but it could be, if you're anything like me, you've probably wondered about this. Focus on emotions, guys. Here's the thing: logic makes people think, emotion makes people act. And so when we're going through and we're doing this, we get to see, like, the client's the main character. The people that we're talking to is the main character. We're going to focus on the emotional piece of everything that we're doing. And then we're going to say, like, how we were able to make things better. People are going to be able to connect to us if we're focusing on our people rather than us. So if you have some clients, share it. Don't be the agent that's like, hey, super excited for my client who just closed on their house. Here's a picture of them at the title company. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but yet, does that excite anybody? Right? Like, does anybody on this call see that post and you're like, oh my God, you are awesome? What do we go through when we're going through and we're saying, like, hey, here's the example, right? So we're looking at this, and it's the before and after. When Sarah called me, she'd been renting for 10 years and didn't think home ownership was possible. After walking her through a down payment assistance program, she closed on her dream home with less than she paid in rent. Now she's building wealth instead of paying somebody else's mortgage. Guys, here's the thing: maybe you have a Sarah that hasn't bought yet, but yet you talk to Sarah and you have the conversation and you opened up Sarah's eyes and you're just telling the story. Maybe don't use Sarah's real name, but we go through and we're doing it. Use case studies in your emails and blogs. Guys, here's the thing: we should be figuring out multiple ways to communicate with people, right? Voice to voice, face to face. We're going to go through, we're going to text, we're going to Instagram message, we're going to do some stuff, but we also need to be doing some emails. And so, what does it look like if we do have this email marketing campaign that we're putting up? Maybe it's just once a month, maybe it's once a quarter, whatever. Let's build it and they will come. And what we're going to do, and we still tell the story again: hey, meet the Johnsons. They had to sell their home before they could afford their next one, but they were terrified of being homeless in between. Guys, it's very real. Here's how we structured a seamlessly contingent sale and purchased that put them in their dream home without any stress. Guys, like, here we go. Like, these are stories that we can actually tell. Again, maybe you don't have a Johnson's family that's actually bought, but you know this is real. You have someone in your ecosystem that they tell you that this is actually their biggest fear, and you tell the story about how you can avoid this. And when we're doing it in our buyer and listing consultations, right? So a few months ago, I helped a seller in their exact situation. Their home needed to be had some updates, and they weren't even sure if they could sell it quickly. With our strategic pricing and our staging plan, they received multiple offers in the first weekend and sold for over asking. Let's craft you the same winning strategy. Like, we're doing this, we're going through, we need to be storytellers. And whether we've actually done the deal or we've actually walked somebody through how it can be done and enlighten them, let's get ahead of this. Let's start telling the stories. Put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it in your blog article, right? Put it in your newsletter, put it on YouTube. Let's start telling the stories. We talk about this, right? We're going to send this stuff to our R&D department. We're going to rip it off and duplicate. And success leaves clues, right? And here's the thing, like, it's been never easier to go through and to watch, learn, and then adopt and adapt, right? Like, as we're going through and we're thinking about this, like, so many people are doing so much cool stuff. And if we like what they're doing, let's take it for our own, right? And agents across the country are going through, they're doing this. We got tons of real estate coaches that are out there putting out strategies. We have people on Instagram that are putting out stuff that looks like it's working. And what can we do about, taking some of it, implementing it, right? They're sharing their way strategies with us. They have models, right? We're going to stand on the shoulders of giants and we're going to run with it, right? You guys all have access to these one pagers, right? If you guys all go into KW Connect or go to Command, so go to Command, at the top, you have Connect and Command. Click on the Connect button, and there's a search engine right there, and just type in one page. If you type in one page, then you're going to get a drop down that says one page systems. Click on it. And there is like 100 one page strategies from agents that are doing something and how they did it. And you can download all of them. And it tells you how they do open houses, how they do networking, how they built their sphere of influence, referral programs. Like, it tells you how they did all of them. These are top agents in our ecosystem. But when we're looking at this thing, we're thinking about sending it to our R&D department, right? First thing, let's follow some top agents. And so maybe you go through and you find this one pager and you're super excited about it. Go find the agent on social media and see what they're doing on social media. Join their email list. Like, maybe they have the ability that they want to put you on a drip campaign. Join it, right? See what they're doing. Then go through and engage with them, right? Like, maybe you talk to them and see how they respond to people. And we're not going to mislead them, but just see what their engagement looks like. And then, right, we know that we have the Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast. Jason Abrams every week talks to a top real estate agent who is crushing it somewhere. And he breaks down how they're building their business with them. And then again, what he does is he sends the one pager out to us. So every week you get a new podcast. If you subscribe to the podcast, 3 days after the video or the podcast drops, he sends you the one pager from that interview so you can actually implement it into your business. Now, here's the thing, we're just taking inspiration. We're going to customize, we're going to make it the way that it feels comfortable to us. We're not going to copy it word for word. And yet, we do know this, there are agents across the nation that are doing some cool stuff. So, what about social media? Jason Pantana is out of Tom Ferry coaching. And this is all this guy does. Let's talk about YouTube and Instagram strategy. Like, you can actually go follow him on Instagram and he will teach you a new strategy every day. There's a new strategy that he's doing. He's also on YouTube and he's doing YouTube stuff. And those are a little bit longer content. But if you want just a bite size, here's your 1 minute reel on how to do something, like, big, right? And so he's just going through, he says, identify 3 to 5 agents, right? We're going through, study their content, how they're posting, their engagement, guys, and case study this thing. Here's the thing, like, we talk to agents and they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's crushing it. And we don't know if they're crushing it, but yet we do judge our insights based off of other people's Instagram accounts these days. But yet, if you believe that they're doing something, you have people that believe that these people are doing something, well, let's just take something from it and let's run the play. Again, subscribe to top agents email campaigns, right? Like, figure it out. I don't know if any of you guys are a part of this, but I get a lot of like referral emails sent to me. And so those are also very interesting to think about. These agents that are sending out these email campaigns to join their referral networks And if you send them a client, they will pay you 30%. And then what they're also doing is they're talking about the neighborhoods, they're talking about the city, they're talking about the market. Guys, you have access to all that. You have access to all that information. So what would it look like to go follow a couple of these people, get on their email campaigns, see how they're formatting it, see how they're structuring it, see how they're writing it, probably using Chat GPT these days, and then go through and put this stuff together to where you have your own now. Go use KW Command, right? We actually have a referral product in there that tells you where all the referrals are going to across the nation. Find the top agents in that area and put them on this thing and say, hey, if you send anybody coming into Colorado my way, I will pay you a 30% referral fee. And so what they do this at BAM. So BAM actually sends a newsletter every week. And so guys, follow that. Like there's some interesting stuff coming from the broke agent. Like this is funny. The broke agent, they started off as real estate agents. They decided that they weren't awesome real estate agents, but what they were really good is interviewing people and creating really funny content for social media. This is all these guys do now. And like they have one of the largest Instagram account followings that there are right now, and it's very interesting. So this is someone else I would take a look at. And again, borrow winning framework, right? So Jeremy and Knight again, we're going to talk about Jeremy Knight. He's out there. Go follow his YouTube channel, see what he's doing. I also like Kim Pozak, right? Kim Pozak out in Florida. He's a KW agent. He's a Tom Ferry coaching client. But Kim Pozak, all he does is talk about Orlando, what's happening in Orlando, and like go jump on his YouTube account. Like people go through, they find these guys, they see what they're doing, and then they have information. They want to know what they're doing. Because here's the thing, this is what we got to think about. If you're thinking about moving into an area, what's your first step? It's probably not contacting a real estate agent. It's probably not reaching out to a lender. It's probably Googling the area. What's going on? Do I really want to live here? What's the crime rate? What's there to do? YouTube is going to pop up. YouTube is going to be like one of the fourth things that pop up. So if you're talking about what it looks like to move into Westminster, what it looks like to move into Arvada, what it looks like to move into Golden, what it moves to insert anywhere here, you're putting out information. People will reach out to you. They're going to connect to you. They're going to subscribe to your channel. They're going to be asking you questions. Like these are fun. Like this is something that I would absolutely look into. If I was going to be like, I'm done being the team leader with KW and I want to work on my production business again, I am going to live on creating short-term content on both Instagram and YouTube. Like that's where I would live. And I can guarantee you that it would create a massive funnel. But here's the thing, right? We got to focus on growing our database. And guys, this thing, you need more leads. More leads are more at bats, it's more opportunities. It's more, you need to be told no more. Right? Here's the thing, if you're not getting told no, you're no closer to be told yes, right? Like we need to have many people inside of our database. We need to have many relationships as possible. And here's the thing, we're inside of a systems and models organization inside of KW. What we know is that we have a database of people that know us, like us, and trust us, our MET database, wherever these people came from. And then we have this not MET database over here. We need to constantly be filling this not MET database and funneling them over. So we have to be thinking about it. Where can we continuously grow this database in a systematic and strategic approach where we're constantly adding people and nurturing them? Because I'd also say this, like you have a cell phone, think about how many people you have in your cell phone. Is it 100, 200, 500, 1,000? How many of those people are you reaching out to and building a relationship on a daily basis? Probably not 1,000 on a daily basis. That's not real. But like, how many people are we going through and we're talking to? So we have circle prospecting. If you're doing just listed, just sold, even if it's not your listing, why don't we just pull the prospecting list, call people? Hey, I don't know if you noticed that 123 Main Street is now listed down the street, and we're hosting a neighbor exclusive open house, and I wanted to invite you to it. Open house lead capture, right? Sign in forms, right? What does it look like to have a sign in form? And then we are putting them on some kind of drip text campaign. We have online lead gen, and here's the thing, you can buy leads. I know that we don't talk about buying leads a lot in our four walls in this ecosystem, but it's okay. Also, we have the ability to run ads. Well, you have the ability to run Google ads out of your CRM out of command. You have the ability to run Facebook ads out of your CRM. You don't have the ability to run Zillow Flex ads, but you can reach out to Zillow if you wanted to. And again, referral and networking strategies. What does it look like to build a database, whether it's local or again, what we talked about in the last strategy, to where we're reaching out and we are building a contact list of referral people that we are pouring into, that we're like, here's information that we think you might find valuable, and putting it out there. Also, you want to be a part of my referral network and you're in the state of Colorado and maybe you own a business. Well, how about I feature you? You want to be my feature for February? We'll go through. Maybe I do a video interview with you and we post it. Maybe you say that you're willing to give all my people 10% off that mention this ad to them. Maybe we're going through and we're talking about the secret menu, like whatever that looks like. And then you're packaging all that content and you're sending it. That's value, guys. That is information of value. Also, you get to take that interview, put it on social media. Someone's looking for the next greatest restaurant. They're finding it because you posted out there and you're championing your buddy's business, your new referral partner. So guys, this is the thing. Think about what your daily routine looks like. It doesn't matter how big it is, but set a minimum goal. We have to gamify everything that we're doing. Gamification of our business is crucial. We need to say, like, hey, maybe it is 20 phone calls a day, right? Be thinking about this and be thinking about like what you're willing to do. Maybe you're at an open house and you say, you know what? If I'm at an open house, I have to capture at least 5 leads. And then I'm going to put them on a nurture, right? So gamify. Don't just say I'm going to do an open house and I check the open house box and now I'm good. No, no, no. We got to go through and say, what is the goal of the open house? Because I know everyone's goal is to sell, to collect a buyer off of it. But then at the end of the open house, you don't have a buyer. Well, what are you doing with those contacts and how are you reaching out to them? Again, the open house lead funnel, right? To where we're going through, maybe we have the QR barcode sign in sheet. Maybe you're like, you know what, I'm having a little bit hard of a time. And then we're going through, and once they hit the QR barcode, it comes in, they're getting hit with a text message. Again, there's a Tom Ferry open house playbook. They're getting hit with the text message of thank you for coming in. And maybe we're giving them an item of value, right? Whatever that looks like. Maybe it's the monthly neighborhood nurture. We're saying, like, hey, I know that you were interested in this neighborhood. Here's more houses and what's happening in this neighborhood. Let me know if there's any other neighborhoods that you're interested in. And I would love to get that information over to you. Then when we're going through, we got the automated lead capture and follow-up, right? So just the automated drip campaign, weekly texts and emails. Like you guys can set all this up. Like Command has features for you that where other agents have created and have done all the legwork. All you have to do is hit the download button, put your database into it, and let the magic just go from there. All right, outbound communication, right? Like it has to be systematic. Like everything that we do, we have to stay top of mind. We have to take massive mind share because we know that once we take massive mind share, the market share follows. Now, Tom Ferry says that 8% of your database will buy or sell every year. That's a statistic. He's dealing with multiple clients. And so while this isn't directly 8%, let's just say 500 contacts is going to be about 50 transactions. Guys, be thinking about that. Think about your own database, right? Like if you're going through, you have 100 people, that should be about 8 deals. So how are we staying in front of these people? How are you taking your unfair share, right? Like we're going through and we're thinking about this. Systematic, strategic, and consistent follow-up is what we need to do. We need to be in emotional proximity to people when they're thinking about transacting business. So again, property emails, set it and forget it. Set them up. Like, hey, I know that maybe you're not looking to buy a home today, but what type of homes interest you? If you're anything like me, you're interested in real estate. And I have access to every home that's on the MLS before Zillow, Realtor.com, and Sold.com gets their hands on it. Would you be interested in me sending that directly to your inbox? So we're going through. People love to see what's happening in their own neighborhood. Monthly neighborhood nurtures again, right? Like we can actually set these people up. Anytime something gets listed, it goes under contract or sells. Like, guys, think about what Zillow does. Zillow has this estimate. Everyone on this call knows this estimate is not real. Most of America knows that this estimate is not real, but it does give them a guideline on, is your home worth more than your neighbor's home? And that's all people really care about. Well, you have a product that people cannot get their hands on without you, with the monthly neighborhood nurture that lets them know what's happening in their neighborhood so they can keep up with the Joneses. Set them up, get permission. Hey, I just wanted to get your feedback on a product that I have access to over at my brokerage. And what it does is it keeps you up to date on everything that's happening in your neighborhood. I trust you as a client and as a friend. Would it be okay if I sent this over to you and call you in about like a week or two and get your feedback? How about the deal of the week? I love the deal of the week, right? And so, what would it look like if you're going through and you're saying, hey, deal of the week, your city, deal of the week, right? Arvada, deal of the week, Westminster, deal of the week. We're going to do something short. There's no photos, there's no links, there's no addresses. We're going through and we're saying deal of the week, and it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for X amount of dollars, just came on the market, great views. Let me know if you're interested. Right, here it goes. It says here's the format: fully renovated mid-century modern home in Arvada with stunning mountain views and a modern open layout. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,100 square feet, large corner lot, chef's kitchen with quartz countertops and appliances, expansive yard with fire pit and covered patio, price below market value at $685,000. If you want more info, send me an email. I'll send it all over. Guys, think about what you could do with this. What about investment property? Right? Like, once if you go and you find an investment property and you're just sending it out like, hey, this is under market value. I think this might be a good flip. And you're sending it out to people. They'll let you know, right? And this is one-to-one. This could be one-to-many if you wanted to put them on a drip campaign and fire this thing off. People are interested. And guess what? They can't click on the link. They can't type this stuff. They can't probably, unless you're grabbing stuff out of the MLS and like you're actually taking the description, they can't find this. So you go, you put this in here, you fire it over to them. They can't copy, paste it into the ML or paste it into Google and go find the home without you. They'll reach back out. Then you have a reason to be in relationship and a conversation with them. Here's a big one, right? We got to identify and reward our MVPs, right? Every thriving real estate business has repeat and referral partners. And so your MVPs. And here's your rule, right? What you appreciate and recognize will expand. By intentionally deepening relationships with your top supporters, you multiply your referrals and create long-term business stability. So you got to figure out who your MVPs are, right? We're going to figure out clients that send us multiple referrals, people who constantly engage with our social media and our email, vendors and professionals who send us leads, and past clients who rave about you online. Right, like that. Those are them. So we're going through and figuring out who those people are. We know that's a rule at KW, right? We need to find our 10 core advocates. Like, at the very least, you should have 10 people that you know that are your champion. That if someone were to go mention real estate, they're like, you need to call my agent. They are awesome. Who are those people? And like, if you don't know who they are, let's go through our cell phones and let's figure it out. Like, there's so much power in this, right? This is creating a small army that's going to go out and they're going to champion you. But then we got to recognize them, right? That's the thing. Like, we got to go out and celebrate them. And here's what we do know: you cannot reward for a closing, you cannot give an item of value for a successful closing. If you do that, that's going to break some RESPA rules and you could get in trouble. So we can only reward the actions. All right, that's all we can do. Handwritten thank you notes, right? Keep it simple. That could be as easy as, hey, I super appreciate you sending this person my way. You can do a Popeye gift, right? What can we do that we can put something small? Like, we were just on a call earlier today, and it wasn't a Popeye, but Debbie sent the people in her ecosystem today. She sent them all scratch tickets. She sent them lotto tickets. And you know what happened? She actually got referrals from doing it reverse. She actually sent the Popeye gift to these people. I know that's not a Popeye gift, But she sent them a note with a gift attached to it, a lotto ticket. And what came out of it was referrals. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Good luck. Here's a lotto ticket. I hope you. And so people were reaching out. Hey, just want to let you know that I actually won like $5 off that lotto ticket that you sent me. Also, hey, I was talking to my buddy the other day, and they said that they were actually thinking about moving. And I did say your name, but I wanted to give you their information so you could reach out to them. Right? Exclusive client appreciation events. If you guys remember, I know we haven't done this in a little bit. Maybe we'll get Brittany back out here. But Brittany was actually having a conversation with us on how she does her 76 touch program and how she's created this MVP program. And people fall off the MVP program, right? You're looking at this list and you're like, okay, cool. Clients that are sending me referrals, people that are engaging with me, people that send me lead, people that are raving about me. Well, if someone falls off this list and they don't check these check boxes, guess what? They're no longer on the MVP list. And I can tell you a story that, Brittany had her MVP. One of them was her brother. And her brother actually didn't send her a review, didn't send her any clients, didn't send her any leads for that entire year. Do you know what happened? He fell off the list. So then when Brittany's celebrating on social media that she just had her event and her brother said, whoa, 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 hold the phone. I don't remember getting my invite this year. And Brittany said, well, this is for my MVPs. This is for the people that had sent me leads and business this year. And so she's reinforcing like, hey, this is how you get on this list. This isn't just like a party that we're throwing. Like, this is for the people that champion my business. And so we could tell that he was bummed. She created FOMO. There was this fear of missing out, and he didn't want to miss out again. So then to earn back on, he knew what he had to do. Small group dinner parties. Guys, I like this one. Like, I feel like I've talked about this twice today now already. And the small dinner parties, like, what does it look like to have your core group of advocates? And every month you guys get together for some kind of small gathering. Maybe it's potluck at somebody's house. And whoever's hosting that week or that month is providing the main dish. They let the rest of the people know. Everyone else brings a side. And you're just conduit again. You put this thing together, you're creating a community, you're creating people connection. People remember that. You guys are going to naturally talk about business. You're going to talk about the market. Referrals are going to come out of this thing like this. This is magic right here. So here's one: small group dinners with your MVPs, right? And so Jana Bruce has done this, and she's out of Houston. What she does is she just does dinner parties for 8 to 10 people at her house. And it's just a mix, right? So she's bringing some clients, she's bringing, prospects that she's met. She is bringing referral partners along. And so referral partners, not other real estate agents, right? There are other business owners where she's going through and she might hire a caterer so she can be fully engaged. And so we're going through, and what she's doing is she's just creating this community. And guess what? People are going to rave about this. We're all human. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take a photo. We're going to post it on Instagram, what I was just a part of. And guess what? People, if they're going to create FOMO for you, and they're going to want to know how they get on this list. You can invite, right? Invite a mix of top referral partners, VIP clients, strategic partners. Keep it small, right? You can go 6 to 10. Choose a theme or occasion, right? Where you can go through. Maybe it's a Mardi Gras, right? Maybe we're going through, and maybe it's Cinco de Mayo, right? Like, you're going to put whatever you want. And if you can cater it, if that's in your, that's in the budget, cater it. Maybe you're going through and you're finding a group of referral partners. So think about this idea. What if it is a referral partner group and there's 10 of you together? It's all different businesses, right? You get to pick it because you're the person putting this together. You go find 9 other referral partners and you say, well, hey, I want to do this thing where we're getting together once a month. Would you guys be okay with, like, we're going to put $50 together? We're going to change houses. That's going to pay for the caterer. And we're going to have it catered. And we're just going to mastermind how we can help each other build our businesses. And if we have referrals for each other, and how we can celebrate. I mean, think about that, guys. Like, you could do the catering thing and have just the buy-in be the caterer, right? To where people are saying, like, I want to be a part of this so bad that I'm willing to pay to be a part of it. Track your attendance, get your referrals, right? Just have your Google sheet, put in your CRM, monitor, right? Like, so I had this person a part of it. They've been a part of it for how long? Have I got any referrals out of it? And it's your business. You get to decide if you get invite them into 2026. Surprise your MVPs with gratitude drop off, right? So we're going through and you guys can have some stuff made on the cheap if you really wanted to. And so you could go as big as a Yeti tumbler, right? Like those actually aren't very expensive. You can go on to Canva right now and actually create one and have it and do it. And so, and he's just doing it for his top 10 referrers each year, right? So you can't reward someone for a closing. But when we're going through and what would it look like to put on social media and to do your drop off and to have all 10 houses with the people that you were dropping off, here's the Yeti cooler, whatever, the tumbler, right? To where you're going through, you're putting that in there. And then people are like, oh my God, like, how do I get one of those? Just whatever the branding looks like. Pumpkin pie events, right? Like you're a real estate agent. You got pumpkin pie events. This is the thing, right? You reach out apple or pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. Maybe you only do it to a small handful of people again, to where you're going through, maybe partner with a lender partner with somebody else if money is a constraint, and you're going through and you're handing this stuff out. So identify again, keep it as small as you want, 10 VIPs. You don't need to be your whole database. Your core advocates, the people that you know that if someone mentions real estate, they're going to be thinking of you. Make them small, make them thoughtful, right? So maybe it's a book. Here's a book that was super impactful. I wanted to send it to you. Here's from the local winery, right? Here's from the local beekeeper, right? And this is the Arvada honey, right? Like it can be whatever. And then put just a personal note, like, hey, I super appreciate our friendship. I appreciate having you as someone that has my back. I appreciate the people that you've sent my way this year, and just put that gratitude, right? And this is use the 5-star client rule. Anyone who leaves you a 5-star review, refers a friend, or engages with you, they go on the gift list. Heck yeah, guys. And I can tell you that Google reviews are big. And that's how, if you want to rank up and you're doing a Google My Business page, so you start a Google My Business page and then you gamify getting the Google reviews. Yeah, you can go get Facebook reviews, you can go get Yelp reviews, but yeah, Google, again, the number one search engine in the world. That's probably where I would live, getting reviews. And anyone who does something, I'm going to figure out how to reward them. And when people get rewarded once, they're going to want to know, how do I keep getting on this list and get the cool stuff? The recognition program, right? So again, we're going to go through. People want to be a part of something, right? They want to be a part of the MVP club. And so what do? Well, we have this platinum referral club, right? We got to give it a name. If we're just like, you know what, hey, thanks for being my champion, that's cool. Yet you're now part of the platinum referral club. And guess what? When I have the event, you're going to be the first to know about it before everyone else. You're going to know about it. When I have my holidays, you're going to be the first one that gets the gift, right? The quarterly insider, right? Like you're going to go through, and maybe these are the people that get the market update. Everyone else gets the social media update, but guess what? They're getting the newsletter, right? This is the person that gets the special newsletter of everything that's going on. They're getting it. They get it first, right? And so how do you do it, right? You're going to name it. So whatever, the inner circle, right? Whatever, put it through ChatGPT. There's some homework. If this thing excites you, go through ChatGPT. I'm a real estate agent in Arvada, Colorado, and I am starting a client recognition program. And I need help thinking of the name of my referral club, right? Whatever the perks are. And then you got to recognize them. Again, recognize them on social media, create FOMO, show other people how they earn in, right? We're going through and we're saying, like, hey, doing some cool things with my people. They champion me. I'm their real estate economist of choice. They trust me. We're winning out here. And guess what? I'm celebrating with them. If you want to be a part of it, this is all you have to do, right? We're just training people. You don't even need to put that. You're showing it, right? You're showing the photos. And here it is, the end of the year VIP dinner, the event, the celebration. It's the people, the clients that keep referring us people, they keep coming back to us. It's our referring partners. We're putting them on this list. We're celebrating on social media. People are seeing this. Hey, you're crushing it this year. Hey, I saw this event. That looked a lot of fun. And you say, yeah, those are just for, I host that every year for the people that, send me a referral, right? You just send me one referral and you get a part of this. I host this for the people to send me 3 referrals, right? Just however you want to do this, build it up, make it exciting, social media, let it travel, and people are going to want to know, like, how do I get a part of this thing? And guys, you got to just be the best version of you, right? When we're thinking about our personal development, you guys are all on this call, right? Where we're going through here, and we just know that we need to constantly be leveling up. We're in a market where it's no longer speed to lead. We are truly in a a part of our industry right now in a segment of time that really is about skill, right? So how are we professionally and personally growing, right? Like, are we mastering the market? Are we learning and testing new things, right? Like, if you saw something on here, like, what are you going to run? Are you refining your systems, right? Are we playing red light, green light? Are we saying, like, hey, I've been doing this for a couple months and I'm thinking about what my ROI has been. And then I'm looking, like, was I playing all in? That's the first thing we need to be looking at. Like, was I playing all in, or was it just on my GPS? And I said it was important to me and I didn't really do anything with it. Or have I been doing stuff with it and it's not working? So then, is it a skill issue? And if it's not a skill issue and I've been playing all in, I've been hitting everything the way I should be hitting, it's not giving me the return on investment that I've been looking for, punt, get rid of it, try something else, right? Like, these are the things we should be doing. When was the last time you went to a high level training, right? And a lot of us on here have mentors, have a coach, right? Like, your business is all going to grow as much as you do. And so we need to constantly be leveling up. We should need to be hearing a lot of different things. We need to be hearing the systems. But there's a thing that we talk about at KW, right? Where we have some of the smartest bookshelves in the industry, right? And to where a lot of the times we take these notes feverishly and we're writing down these notes. We're like, those are great ideas, those are great ideas. And then what we do is we close the book and we put it on the bookshelf and we don't do anything with it. And it's like, we're only going to level up if we're implementing these things and we're tracking what's happening with them. So we know the top 1% agents don't do it alone, right? They're investing in their mentorship, coaching, masterminds, like they're doing all these different things. And they're going out and they're getting around people that are thinking bigger than they are, right? You're the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with, right? Like, that's very real. You're going to level up the more that you're around top producing people. So we're going through, who are you meeting with? Who are you having conversations with, right? Work with your coach. Maybe it's just an accountability partner. Maybe you're like, you know what, this is the thing. I'm not getting a coach, right? I don't want to coach, but can you be a part of a mastermind group? You have people in this ecosystem inside of our market center that I can guarantee you that if you were to say, hey, let's meet once a month, once a week, and we're going to think about what's going on in our ecosystems, what's going on in our business, and we just want to kind of talk through it. You bring what you're working on, I bring what I'm working on, what I'm running into, you bring what you're running into, and let's just mastermind what we're doing, what we're seeing success in, and see if you can help me see where my blind spots are. And then whatever, guys, here's the thing. Attend one major industry event per year. It's too late for you guys to go to family reunion if you're not scheduled for family reunion. But we also have the Rocky Mountain Summit coming to Vail this year, and that's always fire. We have another event coming in April. It's like a mini Rocky Mountain Summit. I can't remember the name of it. It's brand new this year, and they're bringing in some top people. I think that's in April. But be thinking about, like, the one major event that you want to go to where you're gonna be around top people, hear good stuff. Because again, like, I think that we bring you pretty good stuff in this market center. Um, there's people out there thinking bigger than I am. They're thinking bigger than Margaret is, Elizabeth, Kevin, right? Like, they are. And so, like, can we put ourselves around these people and kind of hear what they're doing? So track your personal development, right? Think about the investments. Think about how you're spending time and money. And right, we can't be learning for learning's sake. It's got to be learning for earning's sake, right? We don't want the smartest bookshelves in the industry. Think about what your morning routine is, right? Like, that's big. So when we're thinking about the miracle morning, what are you doing to start your morning off that's going to set the pace for the rest of the day? Are you doing any reflection and meditation? Are you giving yourself any affirmations? Are you visualizing what the day is going to look like? Are you getting some exercise? Are you doing any reading? Are you going to do any journaling, right? So the miracle morning for real estate agents, that's this miracle morning. And you can go through. And so think about what that looks like. Are you waking up, and there's no judgment on this, but did anybody wake up right before this call and jump on? I mean, are we waking up at 9 o'clock? Are we waking up at 5 a.m.? I'm not saying that there's any, wins in waking up early, but I can tell you that I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. It doesn't matter. It's Monday through Sunday, and I'm up at 5 a.m. and I'm going through, and I have the same things that I always do. And it just sets the pace for the rest of the day. It doesn't matter what my days looks like, but I know if I'm starting to win and I'm hitting the things routinely and it feels good, and you're like, I did this, I did this, I did this, this is the win. Like, you're setting yourself up for success. So it's saying at least wake yourself up 30 minutes earlier. Knock these things out. Like, these don't take a whole lot of time. Read or listen to your audiobook. And like, I think that's very important, right? When you're going through, even when you're in the car, turn off the radio. Radio's got to go. The radio's not doing anything for you. It might pump you up a little bit, but it's not leveling you up. And so what does it look like to download a podcast on something that you're interested in, listen to it? It could be Housing Wire, it could be market stats, it could be a book, it could be whatever you're thinking about that's going to help you advance. Let's get away from the radio and the talk shows. Review your business goals, right? And so we talk about this. We got our GPS. It's our ultimate goal of what we're doing and how we're going to get there. Then our 411, right, tells us like what we're going to do this month and these weeks to hit it. And we're going to track it, and we're going to put it in our calendar. And now it's calendar, and now we can see what we're doing, and we can assess, and we can do checks and balances and make sure that we're all moving in the right direction. So we got to track this thing. It's just like any other lead generation. We have to be constantly leveling up. So again, we got to be seen. The agent with the most influence gets the most opportunities. Show up authentically and expand your reach. We got to tell relatable stories. People connect the stories, not stats. Make your clients the heroes and create content they see themselves in. Steal ideas and make them your own, right? Success leaves clues. Find what's working for top agents and adapt in your market. Grow your database daily. Your database predicts your future. No new leads equals no new business growth. You got to systematize your outbound communication database without follow-up is worthless. Automate the property updates and send a weekly deal of the week. I like that. Identify and reward your MVPs, your clients, and your referrals. Drive your business, show appreciation, and depend and deepen those relationships and become the best version of you, right? Your business can only grow as much as you do. Invest in learning, coaching, masterminding. No excuses, no BS, just results. Guys, pick one of these things, right? Whatever the one thing is. We went through 7 of them. Hopefully one of them was exciting. Pick the one, put it in your business, and let's just see what happens with it over the next couple months. Let's play red light, green light, and let's just have an awesome 2024.